Good morning, students. Welcome back to English class. Students, today we are going to learn about possessive nouns. Students, already we know that noun is a name given to a person, animal, place, and things. Then, what do you mean by possessive noun? Possessive nouns are used to show that something belongs to a person, animal, or thing. What is possessive noun? Possessive noun are used to show that something belongs to a person or animal and thing, and it shows ownership or belonging. This is known as possessive noun. What do you mean by possessive noun? It shows the ownership. Okay, we can use apostrophe or apostrophe s for living beings and off pattern for non-living beings. We can use apostrophe or apostrophe s for living beings and off pattern for non-living things, and it can be singular and plural. Okay, let me explain again. Nouns that are used to show that something belongs to a person, animal, and thing, it is known as possessive noun. We can use apostrophe or apostrophe s for living beings and off pattern for non-living things. It can be singular and plural. Okay, students, let me explain detailed in the following examples. Students, look here. This is Sonia. Who is this? Sonia. This is Sonia. Sonia has a cat. Sonia has one cat. This is Sonia's cat. Look here. How many nouns are here? Two nouns. What are they? One is Sonia and another one is cat. Here, what I said, this is Sonia's cat. That means the cat belongs to Sonia. It shows possession. So, that's why we have put an apostrophe s after the Sonia to show possession. Okay, students, let us see another example here. This is Jim. Who is this? Jim. Jim has a pen. Jim has a pen. So, this is Jim's pen. That means the pen belongs to Jim. Jim is the owner of that pen. So, that's why we have put an apostrophe s after the noun Jim to show the possession. Okay, students, here are some examples for possessive noun. Let us take the first one. The first example is Ram's pen has been lost. Okay, how many nouns are there in the first sentence? Two nouns. One is Ram and another one is pen. Actually, the pen belongs to Ram. So that's why we have put an apostrophe s after the noun Ram. Let us move to the second example. Rekha's watch is costly. Rekha's watch is costly. Okay, how many nouns are there in the second sentence? Two nouns. What are they? One is Rekha and another one is watch. Actually, the watch belongs to Rekha. So that's why we have put an apostrophe s after the noun Rekha. Let us move to the third example. The car's wheel is punctured. The car's wheel is punctured. Actually, the sentence is not correct because as I already said that for living beings we have to put an apostrophe s. For non-living things we have to use off pattern. So the car's wheel is punctured. This is not a correct sentence. The wheel of the car is punctured. This is correct sentence. Look at the example here. We have used off pattern, not apostrophe s, because apostrophe s is only for living beings, not for non-living things. Okay, students, now we are going to see singular possessive noun. Okay, in singular possessive noun, two rules are there. One is noun ends in the letter s, and another one is nouns doesn't end in the letter s. Let us see the first category here. If a singular noun is not ending with the letter s, we have to put an apostrophe s after the noun. Again, I am repeating. If a singular noun is not ending with the letter s, we have to put an apostrophe s after that noun. Look at the examples here. boy's shirt. Here the boy is a singular noun because we are talking about one boy. Boy's shirt. The shirt belongs to one boy. So that's why we have to put an apostrophe s after the noun boy. Let's move to the next example. Nikki's cat. Whose cat? Nikki's cat. The cat belongs to Nikki. So that's why Nikki is a noun. We have to put an apostrophe s after the noun Nikki. And the third example is Tom's book. Tom is the name of a person and the book belongs to Tom. So that's why we have to put an apostrophe s after the noun Tom. Okay, now move to the next rule. If a singular noun is ending with the letter s, we have to put an apostrophe. What I said, if a singular noun is ending with the letter s, we put an apostrophe s after the noun. Look at the examples here. James' bike. Actually, the bike belongs to James. James is the name of a person and end of the letter is s. So that's why we just put an apostrophe after the noun James. And the next example is Thomas' hat. Whose hat? Thomas' hat. The hat belongs to Thomas. So Thomas is a name of a person. So that's why we put an apostrophe after the noun Thomas. Okay students, now we are going to see plural possessive noun. Two rules are there. One is plural noun ends with the letter s. And one more rule is plural noun doesn't end with the letter s. Let us see the first one. If a plural noun is ending with the letter s, we have to put an apostrophe after the noun. What is the rule? If a plural noun is ending with the letter s, just we put an apostrophe after the noun. Look at the examples here. Girls' college. So the plural noun is girls. So that's why we put an apostrophe after the plural noun girls. Let's move to the next example. Bird's nest. So plural noun is birds. So that's why we put an apostrophe after the noun birds. And move to the third example. Students' bench. Students' bench. The plural noun is students. So that's why we put an apostrophe after the noun students. Let me describe about the next rule. What is the next rule? Doesn't ends with the letter s. It means if a plural noun is not ending with the letter s, we have to put an apostrophe s after the noun. If a plural noun is not ending with the letter s, we put an apostrophe s after the noun. See the examples. The first one is people's hat. What is the first one? People's hat. Already we know that people is a plural noun and end of the letter is e. So we have to put an apostrophe s after the plural noun. Let's move to the next example. Children's books. So children is a plural noun. So and last letter is also not ended with the letter s. So that's why we put an apostrophe s after the plural noun children. Let's move to the third example. Men's shirts. So men is a plural noun and not ended with the letter s. So that's why we put an apostrophe s after the plural noun men. Students, let's do the first exercise. That is, rewrite the sentences using apostrophe or apostrophe s after the nouns. The first one is the table that belongs to the carpenter. Okay, in this given sentence, two nouns are there. One is table and another one is carpenter. And one more thing they mentioned in this sentence, the table belongs to the carpenter. So, and already we said that for living beings, we have to use apostrophe or apostrophe s. If the given noun is a singular, means we have to use apostrophe s. If it is not singular, if it is a plural noun, we have to use apostrophe. See here, the table that belongs to the carpenter. So it is the answer is the carpenter's table. like this we should write the answer. Okay, and carpenter is a singular noun, so that's why we have used apostrophe s, the carpenter's table. Let's move to the second one, the books that belong to Radha. So in the given sentence also two nouns are there, one is books and another one is Radha, and they said that books that belong to Radha. So what we have to write? Radha's book, because Radha is a singular noun, we know very well that. So that's why we have used apostrophe s after the noun Radha. Radha's books. Let's move to the third one, the car that belongs to Rini. In this sentence also two nouns are there, one is car and another one is Rini, and they said that the car belongs to Rini. So what is the answer? Yes, you're right. The answer is Rini's car. So what we have to write after the noun? Yes, you're right. Rini's car. So we should put apostrophe s after the noun Rini. And then the fourth one is the pens that belongs to the teacher. So two nouns are there, one is pens and another one is teacher. So the answer is the teacher's pens. We should put apostrophe s after the noun teacher. So the teacher's pens. Okay students, now we have completed the first 4 sentences. Remaining 4 sentences are there. You should try in your grammar book. Write neatly and clearly. Students, let's move to the second exercise, that is put apostrophes in the correct places and rewrite the phrases. Look here, they have given some phrases. We should put apostrophes in the correct places. Let us see the first one, the duck's feet. Actually, what is the first one? The duck's feet. It means feet belongs to one duck. So here duck is the singular noun. What we have to do for singular nouns? We should use apostrophe s. It means the duck's feet. After the noun duck, we have to use apostrophe s. Okay. Let's move to the second one, car's headlights. Car's headlights. So cars is the plural noun, so no need to use apostrophe s, just apostrophe is enough after the noun cars. So cars apostrophe headlights, cars headlights. And then the third one is girls dresses. Okay, dresses belongs to the girls, so here we should use apostrophe after the noun girls. So girls apostrophe dresses. And the fourth one is bird's nest. So the plural noun is here birds. It means the nest belong to the birds. So we should put apostrophe after the noun birds. Birds apostrophe nest. Okay, remaining 4 are there. You should try in your grammar book. Okay, students, let's move to the third exercise, that is rewrite the sentences with apostrophe s or apostrophe correctly. Okay students, they have given some sentences and we should use apostrophe s or apostrophe in the correct places and then rewrite the sentences. Let's see the first one. These shirts belong to the boy. Okay, these shirts belong to the boy. Actually boy is the singular noun. So what we have to do? For singular nouns we should use apostrophe s. Okay, so the rewrite sentence is these are the boys' shirts, because already they mentioned in the sentence shirts belong to the boy. So these are the boys' shirt. We should use apostrophe s after the noun boy. Let's move to the second one. The hammer belongs to the carpenter. So what they are saying, hammer belongs to the carpenter. Carpenter is the singular noun. So we should use apostrophe s after the carpenter. So the rewrite sentence is this is the carpenter's hammer. Let's move to the third one. The diamond ring belongs to the prince. The diamond ring belongs to the prince. So here, prince is a singular noun. What we should use here? Apostrophe S or apostrophe? Yes, you are right. Prince is a singular noun. So we should use apostrophe S after the noun prince. It is the prince diamond ring. We should use apostrophe S after the noun prince. And then the fourth one is this hat belongs to the wizard. So here hat belongs to the wizard. So wizard is a singular noun. The answer is this is the wizard's hat. We should use apostrophe S after the noun wizards. This is the wizard's hat. Students, the first 4 sentences are over. Remaining 4 are there. You should try in your grammar book. Write neatly and clearly. Students, in grammar, chapter 6 is over. Now we are going to see the new chapter in your English textbook. That is chapter number 5, the samurai warrior and the tea master. So all of you take your English textbook and then take the chapter number 5, the samurai warrior and the tea master. Students, this chapter is about how to overcome the difficulties or problems with confidence and peace of mind. So this is what we are going to learn in this chapter. Before going to see this story, let's do the warm-up exercise. That is, look at the picture clues and fill in the blanks. Look here, in page number 45, there is a warm-up exercise. What is that? They have given some picture clues and they have given some sentences also. We should read the clues properly and then read the sentences also properly. After that, write the answers in the correct sentences. So this is the warm-up exercise. Do it yourself. Students, let's see the story. Many centuries ago in Japan, there was a warrior community known as the samurais. The samurais were the master of their mind and body and skillful swordsmen. Read the story of one such samurai, Lord Yamanouchi. Lord Yamanouchi was a wise man and a respectable lord at the emperor's court. A tea master worked in the service of Lord Yamanouchi. Students, many centuries before, in Japan, there is a warrior community. Warrior means they are fighters, professional fighters. They will fight for their country. So we can call those people as samurais. They are the master of their mind and body and skillful swordsmen also. So now we are going to see the story of one such samurai known as Lord Yamanouchi. Lord Yamanouchi is a wise man. It means he is very intelligent and respectable person at the emperor's court. A tea master works in the service of Lord Yamanouchi. I am pleased with your work. I give you the title and rank of a samurai warrior. You will now wear the samurai clothes. So Lord Yamanouchi says this to the tea master. What he says? He says that I am very happy and grateful with your work. Now I am ready to give you the title and rank of a samurai warrior. Now you will wear the samurai clothes. So the tea master says thank you to the Lord, because the Lord Yamanouchi gives the rank and title. It means it is one type of honor. So that's why he says thank you to the Lord Yamanouchi. The Japanese tea ceremony is a graceful ritual of preparing green tea. The utensils, the seating arrangement for both the guest and the host, the steps of preparing, serving and drinking tea are all predefined. So see here students, the Japanese tea ceremony. Ceremony means it's a traditional event. Okay, it's a traditional event. Is a graceful ritual of preparing green tea. Ritual means it is also one type of ceremony and it consists of the actions performed in the prescribed order. So in Japan, the people of Japan, they will celebrate preparation of green tea as a ceremony, like the utensils, arranging the utensils, and then sitting arrangement for both the guest and the host, the preparation of tea, and then serving and drinking. These are all the predefined means already defined. Okay, it is a one type of celebration in Japan. Once Lord Yamanouchi and the tea master went on business to the great city of Edo. One evening, the tea master and his friends were taking a stroll. So what happened? Lord Yamanouchi and the tea master, they went to the great city of Edo. Where did they go? They went to the city of Edo because of a business, because of they went on business. So one evening, what happened? The tea master and his friends, they are taking a stroll means leisure walk. Okay, they went outside for a short leisurely walk. Suddenly they came face to face with a samurai warrior. The tea master stepped into the drain on the side to let him pass. Students, already we know that the tea master and his friends are taking a stroll. Stroll means leisure walk. So suddenly what happened? A samurai came in front of them. So that's why the tea master stepped into the drain and decided to let him pass. The samurai is telling what kind of samurai warrior would step into the drain to let another warrior pass. He sure is an impostor. The samurai warrior says that what kind of warrior you are. What kind of samurai warrior you are. He decides that sure, the tea master is an impostor. Impostor means a person who is pretending to be someone else in order to trick people. It means he is not a real samurai warrior, just is a fake. He thinks like that. And next is asking, who are you and what rank do you hold? The tea master says that I am a tea master and I am working in the service of Lord Yamanouchi. And then the samurai warrior is telling that what? A tea master? A tea master is wearing a samurai dress? Okay, I challenge you to a duel. Duel means a formal fight with weapons between two people. Okay, he who wears the robes of a samurai must fight like a samurai. So what happened? The samurai warrior is telling that a tea master is wearing a samurai dress. Okay, I challenge you to a duel. Duel means it's a formal fight between two people. So I challenge you, a person who wears the robes. Robes means it's a long loose outer dress. It's look like a long frock. Okay, a person who wears the robes of samurai, the person must fight like a samurai. And the tea master says that, sir, the middle of the street is no place for a duel. We will inform you of the time and place. So he says that there is no place in this street. So later we will inform you of the time and place for duel at Lord Yamanouchi's palace. Okay, students, already we know that the tea master and his friends went outside. So there are two friends. So one friend is saying that don't worry, we will give him money and ask him to leave. So the tea master is replying that no, this will be shame to my family and Lord Yamanouchi also. I have 1 day and 1 night. Within a day and a night, I will learn to fight. So the second friend says that okay, if he does not agree with that, we will get help from Lord Yamanouchi. So what happened? The tea master went to the emperor's court and asking Lord Yamanouchi as, Lord, please teach me how to fight like a samurai warrior, because I have 1 day and 1 night. Within a day and a night, I need to learn how to fight like a samurai warrior. So now Lord Yamanouchi says that sure, I will teach you how to fight. Before that, just prepare a cup of tea. Okay. So what happened? The tea master started to prepare a cup of tea. Lord Yamanouchi says that excellent. the preparation of tea is really excellent. Now you don't want to learn to fight. What he says, now no need to learn to fight, because the way you prepare tea with confidence and peace of mind, this is the same way you should face the problem tomorrow. You should face the samurai warrior tomorrow. He says like that. The next day, the tea master did exactly what Lord Yamanouchi asked him to do. Yesterday, what happened? The tea master went to the emperor's court and asked Lord Yamanouchi to teach fighting. So what he said, you should fight with confidence and peace of mind. Definitely you can win. So the same thing he kept in his mind, and next day the samurai warrior and tea master are ready to fight with each other. Then the samurai thinks himself, he looks so confident. I think I was tricked. He is a samurai warrior indeed. I am sorry I was rude to you. You truly are a samurai warrior. I do not wish to fight with you. So what happened? Look at the picture, students. Look at the picture. How strong he is standing. So that's why the samurai warrior thinks that the tea master is looking very confident. So I think I was tricked. He is a samurai warrior. Really, he is a samurai warrior. So he is asking sorry to the tea master because he was rude on that day, and saying that you are a real samurai warrior. I don't want to fight with you, and I don't have wish to fight with you. Students, whatever problems will happen or will occur in our life, we should face the problems with confidence and peace. Then only we can easily come out from that problem and we can easily handle it. Okay? So stay positive and face the problems with confidence. Okay, students, the story is over. Now we are going to do the first exercise, that is choose the correct option. So all of you take the page number 49 and a pencil. The first exercise is choose the correct option. Let's do the first one. Choose the who was Lord Yamanouchi. What is the first one? Who was Lord Yamanouchi? The options are a king, a samurai warrior, a poor tea master. What are the options? A king, a samurai warrior, a poor tea master. What is the answer for the first one? Yes, you're right. The first answer is, we know very well that Lord Yamanouchi was a samurai warrior. So tick on the option B. Let's move to the second one. Which city did Lord Yamanouchi and the tea master visit? Options are option A, Edo, option B, India, option C, Japan. What is the correct answer for the second one? Which one is correct? Yes, you are right. The correct answer is option A, Edo. So what you want to do now? Just tick on the option A. Let's move to the third one. The third one is, what did the samurai warrior want? What is the third one? What did the samurai warrior want? The options are a gift from the tea master, a duel with the tea master, a gold coin from the tea master. Which is the correct answer for the third one, students? Yes, you're right. The correct answer is a duel with the tea master. Yes. So tick on the option B. The third answer is option B. Let's move to the fourth one. What was the tea master very good at? Options are riding a horse, fighting with a sword, performing the tea ceremony. Which is the correct answer? Yes, you are right. The correct answer for the fourth one is, the tea master was very good at performing the tea ceremony. So tick on the options, option C. Okay, students, now the first exercise is also over. I hope you have written the answers neat in your textbook. Okay, students, the first exercise is over. Let's move to the second exercise, that is answer the following questions. Let's see the first one. Why did Lord Yamanouchi give the tea master the rank of a samurai warrior? Because the Lord was happy with the tea master's the way of preparing and serving tea. So that's why he gave the title and rank of a samurai warrior to the tea master. Let's move to the second one. What happened in the city of Edo? What happened? The tea master was challenged to a duel by the samurai warrior because the tea master was wearing a samurai's clothes. That's why the warrior asked him to a duel. And he said one thing: if a person who wears a samurai clothes, he must fight like a samurai. And the third one is, what advice did the tea master's friends give him? We know very well that the first friend says that we can give the money and ask him to leave. So the next one says that if he does not agree with that, we can go to the emperor's court and we can get help from the Lord Yamanouchi. And the fourth one is, how was the tea master able to defend himself against the samurai warrior? Defend means protecting, okay? Because the tea master faced the samurai warrior with confidence and peace of mind. By seeing his confidence and peace of mind, the samurai warrior thinking himself that the tea master was a real samurai warrior. So that's why the samurai warrior was asking sorry to the tea master for his rude behavior on that day, and he refused to fight. He do not have wish to fight with the tea master. So that's why this is the way the tea master able to defend himself. And the fifth one is, do you think the tea master was a man of courage and self-esteem? Give reasons to support your answer. Self-esteem means self-respect. Okay, so what we can say, yes, the tea master was a man of confidence and self-esteem, because when his friends, they said that we can give money and ask him to leave, on the time also he said that no, this is not the correct way. I want to fight. I want to face the problem. I want to fight like a warrior. He said like that. So that's why what he did, he went to the emperor's court and asked help to the Lord Yamanouchi to teach him how to fight. And the last one is, why do you think Lord Yamanouchi advised the tea master to maintain peace of mind? We know very well that beginning of the story we said that Lord Yamanouchi was wise. He was intelligent and respectable person in the emperor's court. You know very well that if a person has a confidence and courage, he can face the problems. Whatever problems will happen, he can face. So this is the way. It is a sign of samurai warrior. So he advised the tea master to do the same. Students, now the second exercise is also over. So write the book back exercise that choose the best option very neat and clearly in your textbook. Okay students, now we came to an end. It's time to recall possessive nouns. Okay, possessive nouns are used to show that something belongs to a noun. Noun may be person, animal or things. We can use apostrophe or apostrophe s for living beings and off pattern for non-living things. And the third point is, singular nouns or ending with the letter s, we put an apostrophe after a noun. If a singular noun is not ending with the letter s, we can put apostrophe s after the noun. And the fifth point is plural nouns. If a plural noun is ending with the letter s, we have to put an apostrophe after a noun. If a plural noun is not ending with the letter s, we can put apostrophe s after the noun. Students, today we have completed 2 chapters. One is chapter number 5, The Samurai Warrior and the Tea Master in English Literature. And another one is chapter number 6, Possessive Nouns in Grammar. I hope you understood. In grammar, you should try remaining exercises. Then only you can easily understood the concept. And for chapter number 5, The Samurai Warrior and the Tea Master, I have given classwork notes in PDF format. You should write all the patterns in your classwork note. I hope you have written very neat and clear. And don't use pen in your textbook and grammar book. Keep everything safe. Okay, write the index page properly and put the date properly. And after completing a pattern, you should draw a line. Okay, we will meet on next class with another topic. Thank you.